All right, boys and girls, this is Mr. Bedley again, and here we go with Lesson 10 from the 4th grade Excel unit. Today we're going to be taking a look at basically what are called word problems, evaluating information to see if it is sufficient to answer the question. In other words, we're going to decide if the word problem that's given to you has enough information to even answer the question. You might have never seen problems like this before. And then identifying what information is needed to answer the question in a story problem. So you're not going to actually solve these problems today. You're just going to think about, do you have enough information? And sometimes we're going to decide, well, you don't have enough information, but what do you need in order to solve this problem? I think you'll understand a little bit better as we go through it. All right, make sure you're watching the screen, reading along. Here we go. For each of the problems below, determine if you have enough information to answer the question. All right, so here's our first sample problem. Fred has 2 sisters and a brother. So the best way to do this is to stop and just maybe close your eyes a little bit. Imagine, here's Fred. We could even draw a little picture. There's Fred there. He's got 2 sisters. I'm going to put SS for his 2 sisters. And he's got a brother. There we go. Isabel, oh, this is Fred. Isabel, there is not working. Okay, Isabel has sisters and brothers. So here's Isabel, and Isabel has some sisters and some brothers, but it doesn't tell us how many. How many more brothers does Isabel have than Fred? Do we have any way of answering that question since they just said that Isabel has sisters and brothers? No, they would need to say how many brothers Isabel has in order to know how many more Isabel has than Fred. So if Isabel had 6 brothers and Fred has a brother, 1 brother, then Isabel would have 5 more than Fred because 6 is 5 more than 1. But it doesn't tell us how many brothers that Isabel has, so the correct answer is not enough information. All right, let's go down to number 1 now. I'd like you to pause the video, try number 1, turn it back on when you've answered the question. Maya drank 4 glasses of water after her workout. Ryan drank 2 glasses. How many more glasses of water does Ryan need to catch up with Maya? Well, we know that Maya drank 4 and Ryan drank 2, so 4 take away 2 is equal to 2, and so we can figure that out, that if she drinks 2 more, she's going to catch up with Fred, so that's plenty of information. What I'd like you to do is, if there is enough information on these problems, then your show work, the work that you write down, is the math problem that actually solves it. If there's not enough information, there's no math problem to write down. But if they tell you that there is, if they do give you enough information in the problem, then go ahead and actually solve that problem to prove that there is enough information. All right, here we go with 2 more problems. I'd like you to read both of these, solve them on your own, and then turn the video back on to see the answers. All right, the first one says Patrick rode his bike to school. It took him 13 minutes to get there. So here's Patrick, and here's his school, 13 minutes to get to school. Amber also rode her bike to school. How many more minutes did it take Amber to get to school? Well, it doesn't tell us how long Amber took, so there's not enough information. The next one, you should have already done this on your own. Seth and Matt were playing baseball. Seth had 5 hits. Matt had 4 more hits than Seth. How many hits did Matt have if he had 4 more than Seth? Well, if Seth had 5 and Matt had 4 more, you should have written 5 plus 4 equals 9 to prove that you had enough information. If you didn't write that, you weren't paying attention back there, up there, when I said make sure if you have enough information, you have to write the math problem that shows how to solve that. So if you don't have that on your paper, add that to it right now. All right, the next part says, and on the other side of your paper, read each problem, evaluate the choices, and then write an equation showing how your choice is correct. All right, so this is kind of similar to the last one. Let's check it out. Ed sailed on his boat every day for a week. What information is needed to find out how far he sailed in all? So on Monday he sailed, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. How could we find out how far he sailed in all, in the total for the whole week? We would need to know what he did each day, right? So how long he sailed each time? Well, maybe he sailed on his boat like 3 times in a day. So that would, we don't know how many times he sailed. We only know how many days he sailed, which is 7 days. How far he sailed each day? Well, yeah, that would be the answer because I just said that up here. We know how far he sailed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. We can figure out what it is for the week. When he started to sail, that's not going to tell us how far he sailed. The correct choice is B. How far he sailed each day times 7 equals how far he sailed for the week. So I am going to shorten that. You do not need to write that whole thing out when you do these types of problems. I'm going to say sail per day times 7 equals sailing for the week. Now that is assuming, this is kind of a bad problem because that's assuming that he sails the same amount every single day. It doesn't tell you that. He might have sailed a certain, like 2 miles on Monday and then 10 miles on Tuesday and so on. But I guess we're just assuming that he did the same thing every day. All right, pause the video, try number 5 on your own, and then turn it back on. Don't forget to write down here below some sort of an equation that shows how you would solve that problem. Morgan, you should have already done this. Morgan scored 5 more points than her friend on a spelling test. What information is needed to find out the points her friend received? Well, we would take Morgan's points. You could put M or MP, something like that. And she scored 5 more points than her friend. So her points are equal to her friend's plus 5. Now, if you put Morgan's points plus 5, that would not be right because she actually scored more than her friend did. It says Morgan scored 5 more than her friend. The other way to do that is you could put Morgan or Morgan's points are equal to, no, I'm sorry. Let me back up on that. That's not right. Undo. Okay. Morgan's points minus 5 is equal to her friend's points, right? Because if she scored 5 more than her friend, we took 5 points off of Morgan's score, we could get her friend's score. Now, what do we need to know in order to solve this problem? If we know the total number of points on the test, is that going to help us to solve this? No. Words her friends got wrong, well, that's not going to tell us anything either. If it told us her friend's score, we could figure that out, or how many words she got right, how many points she got, and we would need to know how many points Morgan got. Because let's say she got 20 points on her test, we could figure out her friends by doing 20 take away 5 is equal to 15. Now don't write these, that's just an example. If we were to know that, then that is how we would solve it. All right, we got 6 and 7, last 2 problems here. I'd like you to read these and then solve them on your own. Make sure you show any sort of thinking that you can possibly show in terms of a math equation before you turn the video back on. All right, so you should have already number 6. Antonia bought a box of animal crackers for 63 cents and a juice box for 80 cents. What information is needed to find out how much change he will get back? So what we're going to do is we're going to do 63 cents plus 80 cents gives us the total, and then the money, let's call it M for money that he hands, or the C for cash, minus the total is equal to his change, right? If we know how much money he handed to the cashier and we take away the money that it cost, which is actually, I don't even have to put the T there, that was a mistake. That's $1.43. Let me fix that here. That should be $1.43 when you add it together. It's actually the money minus $1.43 is equal to the change. The number of crackers in a box, does that help us to figure out the change? Nope. The difference in price between the crackers and the juice box? Well, we already know the difference. that's 80 minus 63 would give us the difference, and that's not going to help us to know what the change is. The amount of money he gave the cashier, yes, if I know that amount, let's say he gave him a $5 bill, $5 minus $1.43, which is how much these two things cost, will tell you the change. This is pretty tricky, I'm sure, for most of you here. So that answer would be C. All right, you should have already done number 7. If after seeing me do number 6, you realize you might have done number 7 wrong, it might be a good idea to pause the video and fix it before you watch me do it. You're going to learn more that way. Brad has 2 boxes of movies. In one box, he has 24 movies. Okay, let's draw. Here's one box. There's 20. You don't need to do this. I'm just helping you understand it. What information is needed to find out how many movies are in the other box? Well, how much he paid for the movies? Well, that's not going to tell you how many movies he has. The total number of movies? So if we went 24, we went the total number of movies, subtracted 24, we would get, I'm going to call this B2, box 2, or you could put other box. So if you know the total, let's say there's 50 movies altogether. We don't know this, but what if you did know that, and you subtracted 24 that are in the one box, you would get 26 in the other box. See, all you have to do is subtract. If you know the total, then you can figure out what's in the other box. How many movies are cartoons? That's not going to tell you how many movies are in a box. All right, so hopefully you learned something today. That was a real tricky math lesson, I'm sure, for you. And make sure you show all your work and add up all those check answers on your math today. If you don't get a check answer to add up, and don't fake it when you add that up, really actually add it. If it doesn't come out, find your mistake. If you can't find your mistake, ask for help.